Okay, so entry. So we just spoke about area of value, and that was the main part of trying to find a good setup. Okay, now we have to try to find a good entry. So let's say we, for example, we have a look at this chart here. So we got a key resistance level, access support, quite a strong level, a good trend line. The trend's going down, so we're trying to catch a pullback trade. Moving averages are also facing down. Let's say this is an area of value. Okay, that we're trying to take a good trade at. Now I picked this example because, as you can see, it didn't really move perfect. In fact, it sort of broke out of the trend line. That's why I picked this example, because even if things don't go your way, how do you put yourself in a good position to take an entry? Okay, so we're not just trying to buy and sell at these levels from the area of value perspective. We actually need to go down to a lower time frames. So area of value works good on a 4-hour time frame and a 1-hour time frame. We use a daily time frame for the trend and for candlestick patterns. Now for the entry, we have a look at the 30, the 15, and the 5. Okay, it depends how fast the market's moving. If the market's moving really fast, we look for a 5-minute entry on candlestick patterns alone. So we don't draw support and resistance on the 15, on the 5, we draw it on the 15 or the 30. Okay, so let's get down to the 15-minute time frame. This is what I mean. So, maybe I'll just quickly show you. So when price comes to an area of value, right? Let's say this is a key resistance level. Okay. And price has done this thing, so price has done this, broken retest, and price is at an area of value. Okay, for example, let's have a look at that. Now what happens when price gets to an area of value? Okay, so we know that the market always moves in 3 ways. It either goes up, it consolidates, or it goes down. Okay, now if price is moving towards a area of value, okay, so towards a resistance level after break and retest, we can expect a big push up. So even though the market's overall trending down, so we have a bearish movement down. In order for the retest to happen, we need to have a move up. Okay, so the market moves up in this direction. All right. Now when price gets to this level, okay, it consolidates. Why does it consolidate? Because it needs to work out where to go next. It can break the level. It doesn't need to respect the level. Even though the area value is perfect, it does not need to respect it. So when the time for entry comes, which is now, we have to work out, okay, how do we give ourselves the best opportunity to follow the market after the retest and catch a good entry? Okay, so this is what happens, because most people try to buy off these tops or sell off these bottoms in a consolidation in a good area of value, but nothing's certain. Whenever you see a consolidation, all it's telling you is that the market is working out where to go next. Okay, so how do we actually catch this move down? If it does happen, how do we catch the move down? How do we jump on the sell? Okay, how do we catch a retest? How do we actually jump on board with this? This is where we have another break in retest entry. Okay, so we know that the market is consolidating at this key level. All right, and we're looking for an entry. Now, in order for the uptrend to continue, okay, price needs to break and retest a level. This would be a opportunity to buy, but we're not buying because we have to follow the trend. And if the trend's downwards, okay, so if the trend's downwards, like this, I'm trying to catch this trend downwards, then we can't buy. So I'm not looking to buy. What I'm looking for, though, is to sell. How do I sell? I wait for a break in retest on the lower time frame, and I'm trying to catch a good opportunity to sell there. Because don't forget, the market always moves in waves, and I'm always trying to catch it after the correction to start the new impulse. So this is consolidating. This is working out where to go next. If price breaks out and continues up as a break and retest, then we're going to expect an uptrend. Okay, because the buys have taken over. In order for price to move from this range, in order for price to actually break these levels, there needs to be either buyers in control or sellers in control. Now, if I'm trying to catch the sellers, I need to wait for sellers to be in control. And how do sellers be in control? Not only do they break the level, but they come back and retest it. That's super important, the two, break and retest. At that retest, if I get confirmation signals of the retest, then I take the move down. And that's telling me that not only did price work out where to go next, but the buyers have failed. Because if the buyers were in control of the market at this level, it would have a break and retest to the upside, but they weren't. So instead, we had sellers take control and have a break and retest to the downside. So your entry needs to only look like this. Have your two levels, find out where price is consolidating, and wait for a break of structure and follow the trend whichever direction it goes and catch it on the retest. Super important. Let me show you what that looks like on the chart, okay? So this, like I said, this is a really good example because it didn't move perfectly, okay? it wasn't really an easy break and retest to catch or good entry to catch. But this is the area of value. So within this area, I'm looking for a good entry. All right. So let's start with this. All right. So price has finally come to a good entry, and I can see that it begins to consolidate around here. Now, in order for me to catch a good entry and to follow the market down, I need to wait for price to break of structure and actually give me an entry like that. We never got that. Okay, so the fact that we got a break and retest to the upside tells me that buyers are still in control of the market. So buyers are obviously trying to get a breakout trade. And what's a breakout trade? When price closes above a key level and we have a continuation. Okay, prices broke through level. We're trying to catch a break and retest to the downside. So we're not involved in this trade. But if we were going to be involved in the trade, we need to catch a break and retest to the downside. That's in our interest for entry. So price breaks this level. Okay, and it continues up. So I say, okay, I'm waiting for consolidation again. And I have this level here where price has consolidated from. Now, in order for me to know that the sellers have taken over, and I need to jump on board with the sellers because I'm looking for a short position. I'm looking to sell it at this key area of value. Okay, following the trend line, following the resistance level. Now, at this level, price is working out where to go next. Price is working out, where to go next. Price is working out where to go next. Obviously, because they broke the level and they came and retested it, buyers were in control. I'm not interested in. I'm looking for sellers in control. How do I find sellers getting in control? I need to wait for a break and a retest of structure to the downside. Okay. Now I'm on a 50-minute chart drawing these levels. Okay. I can even draw the levels like this. I can even drag out the levels like this. Now, as you can see, once we broke and retested a level, essentially it pretty much continued down the whole way. Why? Because sellers took over. Sellers were in control of the market. There was no more buys in the market. And it was all about waiting for that good entry opportunity. So this is a 50-minute time frame. If I go to a 5-minute time frame, and I do use a 5-minute time frame for entry, it's all about trying to just being patient on a 5-minute time frame and trying to catch a good candlestick pattern. And I'll show what I mean by that. So the second a level was broken, right? We need to look for a few things. So we need to look for starters, a level being broken like this, and then the opportunity for price to come back and give me a retest. Okay. And what does a retest look like? So it looks like two things. It looks like either wick rejections, okay, because if price failed to, if we have wick rejections, that means that buyers are getting rejected, pushing price up, and sellers are entering, sellers are pushing price down. There's a lot of selling pressure, okay? So not only is there selling pressure to break the level, but there's also selling pressure to reject the level. And that's important. So I'm looking for either wick rejections or I'm looking for strong momentum. So I'm looking for strong selling candle without any rejection. So sellers have just completely taken over. So in this situation, it looks something like this. Okay. And if you even look here, there's also another break and retest opportunity. Now I'm on a 5-minute time frame, which means that I can see a lot more of what's going on because I'm zoomed into price action. This is multiple wick rejections at this level. There's also multiple wick rejections here at this level. Not much wick rejections here. Like this is more of an indecision candle, but we have that big candle where sellers taken over. So there's two things to consider. Whenever you're trying to get a break and retest, ensure that obviously price has closed past, broke the level and came back to retest it. Look for strong sellers. So strong selling candles, big bodies, little wick rejections, or look for strong wick rejections to the upside. Okay. Because if price was going to break this level, we would see price close above it, but we didn't. We saw buyers get rejected because sellers have taken over. Extra confirmation. So you got to call a sell at any of these levels. This is not, I wouldn't really call this one a break and retest, mainly because price has come back, but not really. Like price has rejected it. Like you could have called it at the end of this candle as an entry, but you don't have to. Again, if you're confident with it and if you understand the trade, then take it. But for me, a good setup would have been somewhere around these wick rejections, maybe after, this indecision candle, rejection, multiple wick rejections would have been a good entry. Could have even taken it here, this other level, okay, minor 50-minute key level. Couldn't even take it here. Okay, we had strong candles, but it doesn't really matter. The idea that you have to understand is that we had to wait for all this bullshit to happen, for the buyer to get out of the market. And how did the buyers get out of the market? They stopped breaking through key levels. How did they stop breaking through key levels? They got rejected by sellers. And not only did they get rejected, when there was a break and retest to the downside, so following the trend, that was telling us the sellers were in control, sellers have taken over. We're trying to catch it on a 5-minute time frame, 50-minute time frame, whatever you feel comfortable with. On a 5-minute time frame, you have to react pretty quickly because the candles move quickly and they close quite quickly. So you've got to be prepared for it. And that's super important when trying to catch a trade. But look for an entry, look for a break and retest, and really try to catch the move to the downside in this situation.